Hello, welcome to this video talking about managing office politics. One of my favorite topics to talk about. When I newly began my career, I did not see the need to manage anybody or their perception of me. I was like, my work will do the talking. I don't need to manage anybody. I don't need to please anybody. Anybody who is trying to do that, they're just doing too much and whatever. So it was like I didn't have any network. I didn't have any like top level guys that I could really say, oh, this is my person or these are my allies. If anything goes wrong, these are the people I can really trust, or if things go right, these are the people that can really push my case. I didn't have anything like that. And that stemmed out of ignorance, basic ignorance. And I saw how, even though at the time I did not really have a need for it, so that it didn't really matter, but as I progressed in my career, I then began to see the importance of having important people in your corner, really. So you need to learn how to manage the political environment of your workplace. And a lot of people will be like, I don't care, I just want to work and go home. Well, you're working with people. And if you're working with people and you want to get the best out of them, you need to be able to manage office politics. And like I say, office politics is not a dirty game. Office politics is not it's not unethical. Office politics is not has nothing to do with all of those. Just the way that it looks and has been branded. Office politics has nothing to do with unethical games and the rest. No. Office politics is you building meaningful connections with the people you work with and making sure that works for you in your career journey. Simple. So, just because you work with people, these are people from different cultures, different backgrounds, the way they see things, the way they address things are different. And same with you, similar to you, the way you would approach things or the way you would have conversations are different. And anybody who is trying to get you on board their side, to get through bits and pieces of work or to do them a favor or whatever it is, they would need to sort of understand you and be able to play to or buy you pretty much get your buy-in. It's just as simple as that, right? So a lot of people have sort of branded it as one very terrible thing. I don't think that it is. I think you just need to understand it and you need to accept it for what it truly is, building meaningful connections that will help your career journey. So I'm going to share a couple of tips with you on how you should manage office politics. Pretty much, I'm just going to share a couple of tips with you. Number one, I want you to understand the power dynamics. Even if it is a team of 5 people, there is still a power dynamic. You need to understand it. Now, part of it is this: you need to know who has the most power, the decision making power. Who, when they make a decision, that is it. Who has that power? So who is the decision maker here? Who is that person that once they say yes, yes is yes, no is no, who has the final answer? You need to understand who that person is. You need to know that person. Now you need to also know who the influencer is. Someone that has a lot of clout, someone who is very courageous, very accepted, very pretty much seen as a leader, someone who people respect. Bosses respect them, people that work for them respect them, pretty much well respected. And everybody sort of wants to be in their good books. You need to know those people. They may not be the final decision maker, but they are respected and their opinions are respected by the decision maker. You want to know those people. So you want to understand the power dynamic in that environment. So you want to know your key players and you want to know how much of influence they have. So someone may be well respected, have all of those good, nice stuff. People love them. They have courage. They've got the clout. Pretty much when they say A, everybody seems to go their way, but they may not have influence in some other areas. So you need to know where it starts and stops. You need to understand. Also, you need to understand the allies of these people, because especially if you're in a big organization or you're working on a big team, you need to understand, even if someone is influential, they may not be influential across board or with some people that also matter. So you need to be careful. So you want to understand that playing field very well. Another thing that is very important is you want to understand who your allies are. And your allies are not people that you just go and say, oh, come and be my ally. No, these are people that over the years over the months you have invested in your relationship. You've helped them with stuff, they've helped you with stuff, you've sort of have chats with them, you've gone out with drinks together, you've had coffee together, you've worked together closely on projects. These are people that you sort of just get along with them. You want to understand who your allies are. You want to get who your allies are. Now, if you're new in a place, be careful. Don't get into a zone of choosing who your allies are just immediately. No, don't do that. Study the power dynamic and stay in the middle. Once you've understood what everybody stands for, you can then start tilting. Don't be too neutral as well, because if you're neutral, you're not, because obviously you need to get to a point where you have to demonstrate loyalty, whether you like it or not. You need to get to that point. So if you remain in the neutral playing field, it will be so difficult for anyone to really know if you're for them or not. Do you understand? So you want to get to that point where you are at the first few months, or the first month or two or whatever, and then you're just sort of observing everybody actively, and then you're tilting towards a line that you think that, oh, decisions are made here, or oh, these are the people who sort of are moving things, so you can tilt towards that. And that is not to say that if you know, work well with some people, you're fine with them, does not mean you don't work well with others. No. So you must just be intentional about the kind of network that you build and the relationship that you build. You also want to analyze some unspoken rules. Okay, you want to look around and look at what are the unspoken rules there. So those are just basically things we do, things we don't do. It's a cultural thing, right? And culture doesn't necessarily only have to do with like tribe or race. It's a culture. People before you who have worked there have systematically over the years created a culture for that place. That is the culture that you are adapting to. So you want to understand in that culture, what are those things that they've spoken about? What are those things they've not spoken about? People don't just do it because it's unspoken, and you're not expected to do it, or it's unspoken but you're expected to do it. So I've worked on a team before where if you want to be on the good graces of the leader, you don't need to do too much other than is a very big thinker, is very big on ideas. Let's do this. So if you want to be in his good books, he just needs you to support him when he's saying those bright and brilliant ideas. Sometimes maybe brilliant in the moment, but maybe later not so brilliant. But he just wants you to sort of show that enthusiasm that, oh yeah, let's do it. So if you understand the power play, and someone who has a big dream knows that they don't have anything they need to get it done. But if you open up your mind and say, oh, well, let's do it. Why not? There's nothing wrong with it. Let's see what we can do. And then you get to a point where you're like, that's fine. So, and I'm not saying don't share your own opinion or don't counter what they're saying, but I'm saying in that moment where the emotion is strong, where they just want to get your buy-in, you can sort of say, why not? Yeah, let's try it. It doesn't mean that you 100% believe in it. Okay, so they just want to see your enthusiasm. So you want to understand that sort of unspoken rule. So, and that will come through your active observation of what's going on around that place. Okay. Now you want to also become a master at perception management. I believe that perception is reality. If people perceive you to be brilliant, then you are brilliant. If they perceive you to be exceptional, then you are exceptional. It's simple because your reputation precedes you, innit? So you want people to think that you are the right person for the job, you're the right person for the promotion, you're the right person for that opportunity, that career enhancing opportunity. That's what you want them to feel. And what are the things you need to do to get them to start feeling that way? Okay, so part of it is that you need to learn to put your best foot forward and for them to see everything you're doing extra. You want them to see everything that you're doing extra, over and above probably your peers or what they would have naturally expected of you to perform in your role. You want them to see you as supportive. You want them to see you as a team player. You want them to see you as someone who is sort of technically competent. So how do you then do this? One of the things you want to do is craft a brand for yourself. Have a brand that this is my brand, and that can be I am the AI person, I am the technology person, or I am the project management person. Even though your project management is not very, but it is not your core line. But when it comes to like managing projects and making sure it gets done, you are the follow-up person. You are the one who gets things done when it looks like there is no way out of it. You are the one who has the network to dip into to get solution. You must create a brand for yourself, and they must know you for that. If we want to get this work done, bring Ore in. That's a brand. So create a brand for yourself and make sure that that brand basically aligns with what you can do easily and with your goals and the rest. Okay. Now I'm going to drop this tip. This tip is very big, but I'm going to drop it for you because it works really well, and that is strategically showcase your achievements and your contribution. Strategically, you don't need to put it on your face, but you could say something like, oh, over the weekend, I was invited where I won an award for this or that. Like it's just a normal coffee chat. They're like, oh really, what award was that, what did you do? So just strategically chip it in here, there. Do you know that I've actually done this and this and this and this before? You don't need to be serious, just chip it in. It could also be the case that probably on a project that means a lot to your leader, you have been spending hours and hours on end over the weekend trying to get it done. You may just strategically say, oh, I wanted to, I booked this restaurant over the weekend, but I just could not go because I needed to make sure our report goes out on Monday. Strategically, because they need to see you going overboard. So what you're doing is you're letting them see the bare minimum required for you on the job. You're not letting them see the things that you're doing extra. So strategically showcase your achievements, your contributions to your team, and strategically showcase what you're doing, the extra mile that you're going. I need you to build a reputation of someone who is reliable. Now, this is going to be tough because a reliable person isn't just someone who shows up for work in the morning and closes in the evening. A reliable person is someone who is almost always available. And I know in this day, I'm just like, I need to create healthy boundaries. And yes. Create the boundaries. Let everybody know I am for communicated boundaries. Okay? Between this time and this time, you will catch me at work. And then when you catch me and you give me a task, oh dear, I'm going to do that task and I'm going to do it well. And I'm going to make sure that I'm giving you my best at every point in time. Okay, so you must be reliable. If you want quality, give it to Ore. If you want us to move across, you want us to reach this deadline, call Ore in. You must always be that reliable person that every time a task is given to you, it gets done. Okay, now, another tip I'm going to share with you is this. Make sure that you build strategic relationship. I've talked about it before, but I have not talked about it in detail. Don't be seen to build it. Build it without the other person even knowing that you're building relationships with them. There are a couple of tips that I will give you that has worked for me in the past. Number one, make them feel so good. And I mean it. This is not lying to them. Make your boss feel so good. This is not you saying was if so most of us, when we go to work and we work with brilliant people, we just assume that it is almost minimum for someone to be brilliant. Like someone gives a suggestion and we just think, oh well, they are paid to bring out these fancy suggestions and nice that solves the problem. You could go back after a meeting, your boss had made a suggestion that really worked well and the issue resolved. Don't just move on like, well, it's their work, they resolved it. Come back. You can send him a message and say, do you know I struggled with this for about 3 days and you just came, suggested this and it was resolved. I really think that you're very brilliant and you're a very brilliant leader. Look, you are gonna crush them. You're gonna crush them. I mean it. People like to feel good about themselves, and you do not have to lie to them. No, everything you need is there. You're just not using it. This is one of it. Make them feel good. Okay? It's not only, oh, good morning, how was your weekend? No. If they've ever told you about their wife, about their kids, about their husband, about their sister, about when they're telling you these things, keep it. So someone tells you, oh, their wife's birthday is 30th of April. Keep it. Put it somewhere on the calendar. Keep it. The next year or a couple of months, they'll just be like, oh, and now she's celebrating her birthday. They'll be like, how did you know? But you were telling me. They don't. That's how you build strategic relationships. It could be the case that you could just walk up to them to say, look, I've got a lot on my plate right now, but I just wanted to check in with you. Is there anything you've got on your plate that is really high priority you think I need to help you with? I may just run you through things I've got. Maybe if they are not so much priority, let's get through what is priority on your own list first. And then you don't need to spend extra hours. No. Like I said, I love this topic. I could talk about it for a whole day. You don't need to spend hours on end working because you're trying to please anybody. You're building the relationships that will work for you. Don't forget. So it's not about you. So you want to go to your boss and say, well, what worries you the most now? Can we talk about your biggest worries? These are the things I have on my plate. I don't know if they are as important as what your biggest worries. I could do a first draft for you and then you can review it. They will love you. Fact. They will love you. So you want to think about that. So build strategic relationships. Hey, there is this one that I need to talk about. Look, if your boss calls you, say, oh, let's go for lunch or let's go for coffee. And you're like, oh, I'm very busy. What are you busy doing? Is it not the same boss you're busy working for? Get up. Go and have that coffee. Go. In fact, when you're going for coffee, ask them, do you want to get coffee? Do you want to get tea? I tell you, I'm the queen of that. Even if I've just gotten coffee and I've come back and I'm going to sit and my boss says, oh, I want to get coffee. I want to go to the coffee shop. We are going. Well-being walk. We are going. Let me tell you the number of things that get done by that work, the conversations you have on those works, they build up together to build a solid. I'm telling you. So get up, go and have fun. Go for lunch, go get coffee. It's going to relax you. You feel relaxed, have conversations and the rest. Look, let me tell you another thing. If two of your bosses or two of your very important, very influential team members are going out to get coffee and they are asking you to join them, join them. Yeah. Simple, tiny, little things that would change the game for you. Join them. Don't say, oh, I'm not for that. I'm not. You are. So please join them. Okay? Go and have that coffee. So build strategic relationships. Okay? A lot of people tell everybody, oh, be my mentor. Be my mentor. Be my. No, everybody qualifies to be your mentor. You must pick your mentor strategically. Don't go and think. There's this tip again that I will give to you. Your boss or your boss's boss, whichever one is more influential, depending on the situation. When you go this week, put in some time slots on their calendar. They are your boss, but put it there as career coaching. And tell them you just want to pick their brain, you want them to advise you on your career, you want them to talk to you about their story and help you get inspired for your journey. That's all. Let me tell you. Psychologically, okay, it is hard for someone who sees you as a mentee to talk you down. It's just almost impossible. So you want to position yourself as a mentee to the most influential people on your team. So that really, really, really works well, really. And I mean, you want to also offer support, offer help. Your work. So a lot of people are like, oh, this is my work. This is my work. Your work is not to be doing those tasks alone. Like, that's not it. You will still get to those tasks. Those tasks there. That's not really your work. Your work is to make your boss's life easier, or the most influential person there. Whenever they want to do any project, anything comes, they're calling you, come and help me, come and help me, come and help me. By the time they get into those rooms that you're not there, that is where they will come through for you. In rare situations, people, you work for people, they won't, you will basically find out how they feel about you. But if you're working for an influential person, they'll be like, she worked on all my project, I think she's brilliant. That's why you see some people that are attached. I've seen it everywhere. You would see someone who is attached to a particular senior person. As that senior person is growing, that person attached to them is growing. You've seen that? Yes. So you need to find out what that means in your organization. And you will also see another boss who people attached to him, that boss is in the same place for years. The people attached to him are in the same place for years. Because obviously, that's how it works. Okay? So you want to attach yourself to the most influential person, and you want to go through them. Okay? You also want to be emotionally intelligent. Please, I want you to be emotionally. And one of the easiest way to show your emotional intelligence is through empathy. Okay? When people are going through something, you want to show that you really do care. So genuine care, love, warmth. You are not the one shouting down on people or just showing that nonchalance, or you don't care. You must show care to your team members. Okay? And you must be able to, this one is very important when it comes to emotional intelligence. You must be able to show your emotions and manage them very, very skillfully. You must be able to manage your emotions extremely skillfully. It's not everybody that you talk to. It's not everybody it's not everybody you say what's on your mind. Oh, I'm just going to say my mind. Don't say your mind to everybody. You have to be skillful. You have to finish that work with finesse, strategy. Be that person who, holds back, relaxes, even when things are. You are the one that relaxes, and then you pick the people you talk to strategically. It's everywhere you go. I'm sharing my mind. I'm talking my mind. I'm doing my mind. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not. People don't like people who, look, bosses and leaders don't like people who, by their demotivating behavior and attitude, bring down the morale of others. Know this, no peace. If you are the type that always complain, I don't like this, I don't, even though you mean well, then they're not going to play your game. They're not going to. So be careful, okay? Manage that skillfully. Okay, and I want you to learn diplomatic communication. Even countries around the world thrive around diplomacy. So why not you on your jobs, on your tasks, projects, working with people? You have to be diplomatic. Sometimes not saying a word, nobody can misconstrue not saying a word. So you need to be diplomatic. When people ask you, how do you think it's not, you just open, you just write things, you just talk to people, you just say, oh, this is how it is on my mind. No, you need to be diplomatic. I mean, make people feel good, validate people. So someone tries to share with you how you have not done your work to their expectation. It's not for you to say, I'm the best. Validate them. I mean it. Validate them to see, I can see how you feel like that. I understand it. I totally understand it. What are the actionable steps? What are the facts? When it comes to emotions in the workplace, it has almost no place, because on emotions will pretty much bring you down quite quickly. You want to focus on the facts, and you want to communicate very diplomatically. You want a situation where nobody can say, oh, Ore said this very terrible thing. Okay? I want you to stay very adaptable. Very, very adaptable. Because, look, the work situation will continue to change. They may bring a new team member, new boss, new leadership, new board. The workplace is continually changing. We're in a world that is never, that change is never ending. New tools, new ways of working, or whatever. So you need to be adaptable, okay? And you need to be careful. You need to be careful around people. You need to be careful around people. You don't want to step on landmines. So you want to be careful, okay? You want to be agile. You want to open your mind up, and just keep this open mind where you are not expecting too much from people, because if you start expecting too much from people, they may not be able to deliver. So you want to be careful about that. You also want to continue to look at your strategies. So what works for you last month may not work for you now. And you want to not overdo things. These things are very subtle. These tips that I've shared with you, they are very, 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 very subtle. So if you overdo it, people would know what you're going in for. So you need to be, until you play into sitting down with them, like you're now on the table, then someone can now look at and say, that's how I played our way into this room. Yeah, but while you're playing the game, nobody should know. Just be yourself, be your happy, jolly self, make other people feel good, identify who your allies are, help them, be very reliable. Everything I've said and more. Okay? Now, there are some situations at work that are very tricky, and that's what I would just say right now. Number one, maybe you've been passed over for a promotion. That is not the time for you to then start creating chaos and all of that around. You want to address it skillfully. You want to have the right meetings. They've already done you dirty already. They know. So it's not the time for you to start talking about. They know you don't need that. They need to sit down and say, what are the actionable steps? Having the right meetings. What do you want me to do? I don't want to be passed over for the next sort of opportunities. You're having the right meetings and the rest. So you need to be sort of careful around those, doing it tactically, and you're going to get your promotion either ways. If you're very like skillful and very like you're competent and all of that, you're going to get it. But you need to enter into their mind, hear their perspective, validate their perspective, and basically, what's the word, show them how better off they can be giving you that promotion. There are a lot of other scenarios, like maybe change in leadership that I've said before. You won't, if there's ever a change in leadership, don't keep talking about how better your former leader was. You need to now start thinking about how to showcase your value to this new leader. Yes. And see if you can get through to them. Now, people are not the same. Some people are easy to wind up and sort of get to know them. They get to know you. They are warm. Some people are so much harder. So you want to put that in mind as well. Okay. And it could be the case that you have been given this very large project. You don't even know what to do with that large project. It's not the time to say, I don't want it. You want to sit down and say, okay, what do I do next? Who do I talk to? Who can help me? Who can hold my hand through this process and the rest? Look, it's been a long video. I want you to, again, I'm going to reiterate, there is nothing wrong in playing the office politics, because I don't think that it's a dirty game. I believe that it's a game, but it is a game to build meaningful, genuine relationships that will serve you a lifetime. It's about developing that keen understanding of all of the power play that you're seeing and navigating through all of it with integrity, navigating through it with emotional intelligence, navigating through it with strategic finesse. You want to be that person who people can come to. You can go to people. You've got everything strategically laid out. Okay, so I don't believe that you can't thrive in an environment that is political. I think you just need to use it to your advantage. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye.